to combat against such powers from beyond. If there was something plaguing your mind, speak it. Different perspectives is very important. The living and the dead.
Just a solution to a problem. I've been trying to diagram the language in which the Dark Ones use, but it is far more complex than I imagined.
I've been working on that shit for years.
Ooh. However, I do have a great idea as how to ascertain it.
Which is...
Yeah, how's that?
He reaches behind him and produces a tuning fork.
a minstrel's fork.
Resonance. Perhaps I can show you. A brief example. Or at least I can figure out if it works for myself. Jericho, might I see your arm?
He holds his arm out.
He
Flashbacks to him breaking someone's arm. Or
taps it and puts it on the back of his hand and listens.
He taps and Jericho goes, me. I'm off
Oh my
too.
god, stop.
Okay.
Oh,
And then taps it and puts it on the back of your hand.
He feels like that hum.
Roll, I guess investigation.
Okay.
Or I think I would allow perception as well.
I'll use investigate. Well, I mean, hey, if I could use that roll.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright,
Hey.
then,
Does sound slightly different.
slightly different compared to what?
To the resonance when he touched it to himself versus you.
Micro difference of that, right?
Makes a different hum. So what?
Precisely. But now watch. He takes it and tags Lucian with it. As you listen to the harmonics, do you hear how mine and his sound similar, if not identical?
I can kind of hear it, yeah. Wouldn't say I'm musically inclined, but I can tell that much.
My theory is this. Every single part of the body, every bit, every part, even to the smallest drop of blood, has a certain resonance to it. It's in your bones, in your skin, and your hair, in your voice. Dark ones operate under a different resonance. If we can understand the vibrational patterns of them, we should be able to better understand them. We all have to use a certain vibratic tone in order to make noise, to communicate. If I can understand it from a vibrational level, then perhaps I can get closer to the solution.
My thoughts exactly. Well done.
Then I'm glad to hear you concur.
Always will.
I have a question from an out-of-game perspective. As a player, I know the plane shift spell uses a tuning fork. And it depends on what domain you're in, the sound that makes.
Boy, you're certainly touching on some real interesting stuff right there.
But I don't know if Sebastian would know that information.
That
Especially
sounds
if
like an arcana.
It's a 7th level spell, so I feel like it's gonna be a rough ask.
pretty
You
high.
have access
Ooh,
to
not
that?
bad.
Ooh.
Not bad.
Yeah, guidance if you want it.
I will take it. Cha-cha! Nice! Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps.
I mean, you have a
22.
free roll if you're really desperate.
It actually really does help. It really does.
Was it DC 22?
15 plus the spell level.
Oh, damn.
Fucking hell.
Thanks, bro.
fucking go,
Hey, thanks, bro.
lads.
Wow.
Appreciate it, man. Fist bump.
God.
I think it's typically 10 plus spell level, but
I feel like in this setting, it
Still.
like it should be 15. Like, because like
Every-
such magic is so subdued.
yeah, everything's worse and harder.
Life is pain.
Haha.
So, I think it's reasonable to understand what he's speaking to as domains.
Watchman Dillon, this assertion, this thesis that you're pitching, does it incorporate the theory, law? I don't know if it's confirmed as such, but every domain, including our own, has, as you say, a resonance.
Precisely.
So it does incorporate it.
That was the fundamental basis of my theory. I figured if I can work from there, I can isolate it now. What I have to work on is finding a way to identify the different resonances of each domain to see if there's a equation or an algorithm I can use to determine the distance in which the Dark Ones came. Does that make sense?
There's a question then of, are Dark Ones considered creatures of this world corrupted, or are they born of another? Because if it is the latter, I will be catching a live specimen, and you can hit your fork against it to find out.
He pulls out his a piece of paper and a quill, writes something down. That is a good point. Different tissue might be different affected. That means the fiends, which are wholly their own and not anything corrupted, they might have a different resonance in and of themselves.
I'm not catching a fiend and bringing it back here, if that's what you're wondering.
I don't think we will have such luxury.
Not their attitude.
However, he just sort of paces back and forth. I think there might be a solution to that as well.
Nani?
What, you're talking
The
about capturing
rituals.
things now?
No. They're rituals. They have to be done. Perhaps if I'm able to correctly identify. It's a vessel, and only corrupted by the fiends. But it might work. Direct corruption from an archfiend?
Lucian looks at Doran and understands. He's just like, don't you fucking.
He just sort of like pulls his head up. What an interesting hypothesis. He grabs the stuff and puts it away. I think I have business to attend to.
Very well, Lotman Dawn, don't let us keep you.
He
I
looks
would
over
like to formally offer my assistance. I am a studied mind. Focus such on it during my time in training. And I find the prospects interesting.
I appreciate it. However, this one, I'm going to need a certain approval before embarking upon it. He walks over, sees Brigitte. Is everything all right, Brigitte? Everything's
what-
fine.
The source of her problems says to her.
He just looks over. She looks over at y'all. They're insistent on helping me work out something I'm working on. Ah, I see. Do you need my assistance? No, it's quite all right. You have more important stuff to worry about.
Can I insight check Briggy when she says that?
Absolutely.
I'm wondering, before I roll, I'm wondering if she is like recognizing some gap between them. Like, because she's definitely a salt to the earth sort of person. Ah, nice. Not. I have my ring. I got my roll and a lucky point still. I'm gonna use the ring. Yeah. Hey, way better. Do I still get guidance?
You don't need it. It's a manner of realizing what a small problem you have comparatively.
Thanks, boss.
Like she knows something's fucked with him.
If even a second of his time can be spared from helping her with her small problem, it was a better trade-off.
Mm.
Lucian's getting up and starting to walk after Doran after he walks out.
I think Jericho will clap him on the shoulder like, "Hey, where you going?"
He accidentally grabbed something of mine. Excuse me?
Insight check.
Inside check.
Was Godard even carrying anything on the way out?
His sounder and stuff, right?
He had his notes with him. As you do that, Briggy grabs you on the shoulder,
Nice.
Jericho, and just looks at you and just does a nod.
Telling you
Best you
tackle
catch
him.
up to him soon, then, Lucian.
Yes. Thank you.
I was just like looking. He's just watching them walk away. None of this is settling, right? But he just doesn't know what to say. Doesn't know what to do. A lot of shit.
Once like he hears that they've gotten some like distance down the hall out of the room, Sebastian's gonna chime or speak up.
That's definitely been awesome. Guess I'm buying a new one tomorrow.
No.
Half.
Just toss it. Yep.
He's talking of his family.
Nope, just washed my shirt with a pin in it.
Ooh.
Oh.
No.
My white school shirt.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Great! Fantastic!
Yeah. Anyways,
Oh yeah. Yeah, Sebastian will speak up. So we all saw that, right?
It's pretty hard to miss.
Gotta be more specific. I saw a few things.
The distress.
Which one?
The fact that they are hiding stuff.
Called that, Pat.
Did you catch something additional?
He shrugs. No, just the hiding part bit.
I don't know Watchman's Dolan and Lucian all that well, but is this normal behavior? Do they normally covet information?
Jericho looks at Bradford.
Lucian, maybe for his projects, but if it's stressing him out this much, no. If
would you even understand if he explained it to you?
no, I never do.
Probably.
I can still be concerned.
I doubt that.
Woof.
Duly noted, Watchman Biggie, but I assure you, I am plenty studied. And I did hold my own when Dawn was talking about the limitations of time through physics the other day. Looks at Bradford. What sort of projects does Watchman Lucian specialize in, if any?
Far more mechanical. I don't want to say mundane, but more weapon and armor. He pulls out his the returning hand axe to kind of like show off the returning apparatus that's on it, like stuff like this to make our gear operate differently.
Yep, that's exactly what I needed him for.
What of Watchman Dawn? What projects does he specialize in, if any?
The language thing, he's been working on that for fucking years. That part is not a lie. But he's been beating his head against it. Always finding a different approach, looking for different avenues. So I don't doubt
That's
the tuning fork thing might be accurate, but it's still...
It is. But that sort of information can leave nasty things in your thoughts.
Right.
It doesn't matter what the topic is. If there's something that needs learned or done, he can do it.
I don't doubt he can. Watchman Dawn seems like a resplendently bright mind. But it is a question of if he should. Not everything out there is meant for a mortal mind to know. It is undoing to know it at times. But if you are willing to stake your trust in him, then I shall do the same.
More than anyone in this world?
If he's as bright as you say, I wonder what we could do with an immortal mind. World peace, maybe.
She just sort of like cleans up the area in which they were working. He's not even as bright as I say. I couldn't imagine explaining it. And if you understood the things he was talking about, it was only because you were making them simple.
There are plenty of bright minds in the Black Watch, Watchman Briggy. Everyone has their expertises.
Well, I hope yours is smithing, so let's get on with it already.
You blokes have fun. My our reason for going to the forge just went in the opposite direction, so I think I'll go talk to Alphonse or maybe Carolyn, see if she's around.
Interesting choices.
As she heads into the forge, Jericho takes his leave. What about the other two of you? Do y'all continue with going to see if you could help her? Or do you... Has something else came across your minds?
Nah, I'll back Briggy.
Bradford will go and offer what assistance he could, which I don't think is a ton. It's not really his forte. But it's more just to kind of keep an eye on her and try to, I guess, measure what's going on in her head.
Sure. So she goes into the forge and sort of looks around and takes the rings that y'all fetched out for her and puts them on the table. Sort of just looks at them. Okay, what do I do now?
My previous question still stands. What is the purpose of these rings? I know that they're platinum, and I know one particular spell that uses such rings. Is it in relation to that?
Just trying to make something that's different.
Out of your forte. Have you ever...
Well? No, go on, Watchman Bradford. Let us hear.
Pick up about that. Have you ever tried a different craft than trying to force yourself at forging?
What do you mean?
I mean, blunt. You've said it yourself that you have not been gifted that capability, the artisan of your god. Have you ever tried?
The blessing of the Maker.
Thank you. Terrible with names. Have you ever
I
tried
told you it was
just?
bedtime.
Oop. Oh, sorry, Briggy. I'll go to bed. Stupid joke. Anyways, have you ever tried applying yourself to, I don't know, woodworking or stonecrafting? Maybe not stonecrafting, but just some other form of expression, vocation?
She just looks at you and blinks a couple times. Bradford, how the hell am I going to make 2 platinum rings out of wood?
Okay, you know what? I'm just trying to think about it. I'll just leave it there. Never mind.
I tried stone carving. I broke the bust. I tried wood crafting. I splintered the wood. I tried tanning hides and I ripped them. I'm just not good at it. She looks down, sort of just looking at the palms of her hands, and cursed with human hands.
Ghost. Human hands have made plenty. Watchman Boogie.
I agree.
Bet.
She just sighs. Nothing. Just repeating things I've heard before. So, what do I do? Do I heat him up? Do I beat on him with a hammer some more?
Looks at Bradford.
Like Sebastian realizes neither of us are smiths.
Well, I imagine we have some knowledge, but
Yeah.
it's
But
a
it's
question of
Yeah, it's like having a mechanic that knows about cars versus having a generic person that knows about cars. Like, yeah, I could change a tire, but I don't know how the engine does its thing.
well, let's start with this. Are you trying to keep these tooling so it doesn't matter if we start anew?
I don't have any more platinum. It was all I could afford with what Maven gave us.
He thinks on that for a second. Captain Maven gave you guys an allowance.
When we were in the City of Light.
Ah. Lucky you.
I wanted to make sure we had a good memory of Almira.
Yeah. Well. Let's start with the shape, huh? Start with the basics. Let's get the forge running. From there, we will need to heat it so it is malleable. We need to determine the size of such rings. And then from there, looks around the forge. I know there was such a tool for this. Something round to hammer it against, to forge it into the shape. Not try to eyeball it. We save that
Right.
for the little details. So, let's get this forge started.
She sort of just starts like taking off her armor and getting lighter into like I don't know, like a shirt. And you can see down her left arm, the flesh is almost charred black from the middle of her forearm all the way up to just below her shoulder.
Whoa. Sebastian clocks that, and then he just looks at Brad for like, did she normally have that?
God, how does he explain that? That is it is normal. It is a very long story, and far too complicated. And honestly, the more you know about it, the worse it gets for you.
I doubt that. It sounds like something in the dark wanting to stab me. I'd rather bring it into the light while I still have the chance. But something for later. Regardless, can Sebastian try to do like a medicine check just to ascertain what it is, the origin of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Medicine seems good.
Yeah, I'm awesome at this with my +0.
What's your intelligence?
4.
4, so 16.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, it's functional. It's not like it's scarred flesh that's stopping her from moving her arm. It's just blackened and charred looking.
Is it healing?
It's hard to say because right, charred flesh doesn't look like
Yeah, it
anything
doesn't.
but charred flesh,
Yeah, I'm just
but
wondering.
it's
Like,
functional.
I mean, it's not that deep of damage if the nerves aren't shot.
As she finishes shoveling coal into the furnace, she just looks back at y'all. What? What's the matter? Did I do it wrong?
Has she been doing it?
Yeah, like
I mean, she shoveled coal in there, right? It's like, is that
Just
enough?
wonder-
Is it too much? It's probably way more coal than is needed. It's
right.
pretty hot.
I know at a certain point you can't make a forge too hot because then you're actually affecting the structural integrity of the metal. So
Right, like it weakens
Like-
it or something.
Absolutely.
yeah, there's a reason you don't use a cast iron sword.
Right.
This sort of deal. Contrary to the movies. So the fire's not started yet, but he's just gonna try to gauge like, as long as we're not going to liquefy the platinum and change it, it's probably fine. We're off to a good start. Watch me, Biggie. But let's continue. And he's gonna start like finding something to begin lighting the fire and everything.
So she sets it up. Overheats it dramatically.
Sebastian like turn it down.
Bradford just has a fucking bucket of water at the ready. Like that.
So the point is like it's probably like uncomfortably hot to be near.
Less so for Bradford.
Thank
Okay,
you
what
for
do we do
stating
now?
the obvious of I have control flame. I can just adjust the temperature on the fly.
Yeah, what temperature do you adjust it to?
I don't know. I'm not doing that right now. It's just like I'm gonna make it not unbearably hot.
What are you talking about? 1,000 degrees? 2,000 degrees? 3,000 degrees?
This is like a pop quiz on Watchmen Alistair's temperatures. I
Okay.
think it was 830 something.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000, or 3,215.
Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Fahrenheit.
Kelvin,
The real
please.
measurement.
I'm-
Shoot for- shoot-
I
shoot for
guess
two.
the extremely specific one.
Oh, the melting point of platinum? Okay. All right.
Oh, cool.
So probably a little bit less than that. Probably like 3,000.
So you can bend it to your shape without.
Yeah,
destroying
not
anything.
melt it. Yeah, that seems good.
Like Bradford's like adjusted the temperature, and Sebastian's like 3,000 degrees. That is below the melting point. I get this +4 int to
Ah.
work.
Okay, how long do I leave it in for? It's like a couple hours.
Sebastian like just thinks on this for a moment.
This is how.
Watchman Boogie, I don't mean to insult, but you feel free to take offense from it. Has anyone actually taught you how to forge?
Yeah, have you done like any research on this, or do you just wing it?
Of course, I've tried before.
Okay, so you were just winging it in the past. Gotcha.
They're all. There was a basic foundation of knowledge to forging. Watchman Boogie. Looks at Bradford. I believe Watchman Jericho was saying her name was Calliope.
No, what about her?
Sounds like she has a foundation of this knowledge.
Considering she forged a lot of armor and weaponry for the underclass, yeah.
Well, yeah, you're the ones that count.
They just got back from UT training, so would they just be in? They're celebrating their barracks, if I remember correctly. That's the last time we saw them, right? Last time we saw
Was
them
it
they were
before
in
the
their
UT
barracks?
train?
No, it was after. No,
was
before. After. What was I remembering?
I think it was before. Regardless, they're probably at the barracks.
Either they're barracks or they're running, because Riker said, "Go run, keep running."
Riker was in the office by himself, so
I guess I'll let
either
So they
somebody.
Yeah, but
took
we
over.
don't know that
Nope.
as characters. Though.
They are done. Yes.
We can try asking recruit Calliope. Don't get me wrong, Watchman Briggy. I am pretty confident in the knowledge of basic forging. But I think it would be doing you a disservice, a chance at an education for such in the future. Looks at Bradford. Do you want to go get recruit Calliope? And me and Briggy can continue our work here.
Do you have some way to maintain the fire so you don't cook yourselves alive?
I could put more coal in it.
The opposite direction.
We'll spread around the coals, reduce the temperature, get an operating heat zone.
Good. Yeah, having metal directly on top of the fire is that good? Is that bad? I actually don't know. I'm gonna go get the Calliope. Yeah, he's gonna go and try and hunt down Calliope at the first spot that he could think of, which we discussed was the quarters.
How big is our combat? Yes, it's not that far.
Hup.
Special for fast movement speed.
So you go over to their barracks and see a couple of them outside, sort of cleaning up from the day using their well. Let's see.
PTSD from the well. Hey, does the Onyx Tower have a well?
Back this way.
No, but they have similar trials.
Okay, that's not what you're thinking. It's like a sort
Bradford
of
doesn't
desert
have
out
well PTSD. He has pond PTSD.
Okay, let's see.
there.
That's a
Ooh.
2 and a 4. That is a Channing and
And a
a Calliope.
Hey! Hey! Forget about it.
Forgot about it.
Forget about not getting the NPC you needed. And the chanting, which is also good.
You see, she's like top